Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Clary V, Mummy of 3. As you can see, this is going to be a Halloween themed video, or Samhain if you are of the pagan persuasion like I am. I tend to use both of the names for the holiday because for my children basically, so they know the commercial name for it and then the pagan festival of it. Please ignore all that in the background. That is stuff that I can't fit in my fridge right now because of the stuff that's in there for this video. So, my name's Claire, if you're new around here. I have 3 children, I live in Hampshire in the UK, and I do all sorts of videos. But this is the first video I've done like this. So I won't be wearing this the whole time, by the way, though a witch's hat is the only hat I do actually look alright in. Any other hat I look terrible in, but this one, my sister has a lovely one with lovely leaves and stuff on that I love. And I love wearing that at Halloween because I don't know, I feel like it's my moment for my hat. The one day of the year I can wear a hat and look all right. So, I digress as usual. If you are new around here and you do enjoy this video, I'd love it if you would click the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn notification bells on, go and check out some of my other videos. I have loads. So this video is in partnership with the lovely Claire over at Mum Things. She reached out to me and suggested doing a collaboration video because she loves Halloween too. She loves cooking. She's loads better cook than I am. Like, go and give her channel a look. She has loads of different types of videos, hauls and cooking and things. I'd love to go for dinner at her house basically. But she reached out to me and asked if I'd like to do this video, and I said yeah. So we're going to a Halloween party. What treats can we make to take with us? Yeah, I will show you. I haven't made any like in advance. This is all going to be the first time I'm doing this. So this could be a brilliant video or it could be an epic fail. Either way, it should be entertaining. You'll either get some ideas for what to do or you'll be able to know exactly what not to do in order to make some treats. So I'm going to quickly hand you over to Claire for a quick intro and then we can get into making our treats for Halloween.
Hello, I'm Claire, the other Claire. There's a lot of us about. I'm so excited to be working with Clary V, Mummy of 3. She is amazing. I love her channel. And today we are going to be doing party food for Halloween parties, or any time of year really. I'm going to be working on some adorable chocolate pumpkin truffles. They're very cute. We're also going to do some little skull pizzas. That's very cool as well. There's my glamorous assistant. And because Halloween parties are for grown-ups too, I'm going to be doing some mulled cider in the slow cooker that you can drink all evening. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so the first things we're going to make today are some cheese and cracker witches broomsticks. So I'm really excited about this. I really hope that they go okay. I've watched a video on how to do it and they didn't seem too complicated because easy, low, basic skill set is what I'm after here because I'm not like fancy schmancy in the kitchen. So let's get cracking and make these cheese and cracker broomsticks. Okay, so for this first one, you will need some cheese strings or string cheese, some chives or something like that, and I have opted for these pretzel sticks. I can't remember what I saw used in the video that I watched, but I thought that pretzel sticks, someone also suggested twiglets might be a good one. I can't remember what they used. The one I watched was American. I just don't remember what they used, but I suppose you could always use a breadstick or some sort of grissini sort of type breadstick, but I've opted for these. I found them in I think these are Polish, but I found them, possibly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I found these in Sainsbury's in like the foreign food aisle. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make sure our hands are clean. I've just washed them. So then you take your cheese string or your string cheese and you need to get one of your pretzel sticks or your twiglets or whatever kind. I did consider whether I could do this with marzipan and like the chocolate matchsticks. That would be dangerous for 2 reasons. Well, for one reason, I'd eat the whole thing. I think by now we all know I have a problem with willpower. So what we are going to do is chop this cheese string in half, or I'd probably say just chop a third of it off. And then put that to the side. Now, at the top end where you're going to put the little pretzel stick, make some very small incision lines because you're going to want it to look like the top of a broomstick. So just some small ones. You don't want them to be very long. And then take your pretzel stick carefully, just splay these open enough so that you can stick the pretzel stick into the middle, far down enough that it's not gonna fall out. You've got to be quite gentle with it as well, because I did do a mock-up one just now. I don't want to come on here completely blind. And I actually broke the pretzel stick. So do make sure you've got a lot of everything. So that's going to be the top of your broom. And then on the other end, you're going to want to make some longer incisions that are then going to be the bottom of the broomstick. Goes without saying, be careful if you're using a knife, a sharp knife. I'm going to turn it on its side and then just make another one to cut through them all. And then you can kind of splay them out as much as you can. I'm hoping that by the time I've done several of these, they will be better. Oh, come on, stand up, please. Okay, there we go. And then you're going to want to take one of your chives, and then you might lay it down for this one actually, and then tie it around in a knot. Oh, you need extras for everything because things do break when you're working with food. Let's pop this back in here. Push that down a little bit more. And then let's tie that in a knot carefully so you don't break the chive, Claire. And then there you have it. You have got your broomstick that you can then display on a tray with others, and hopefully it will look nice. And here you have 5 little witches broomstick, cracker and string cheese party snacks. So those were quite fun to make. They weren't quite as difficult as I thought they would be, but they weren't as easy as I thought they would be. So if you are going to do them to take to a Halloween party, I would do a trial batch first, and then you can select the best ones. They're never going to stay together perfectly. It's cheese and crackers, obviously, but it's just a fun way to do a little snack for a party. So our next treat that we were going to take to a Halloween party is super, super easy. No one, like, even if you've got no cooking skills or any kind of kitchen skills, you can do this. And if I can do this, anybody can do this. And they are pumpkin chocolates. So I'll show you what we're going to do. So this one is super duper easy. All you need is some cheap and cheerful chocolate. You can make white or milk or a mix of both. And then you could even choose to top it with something if you want. That could be a fun idea. We might try that in this video. And you also need a Halloween silicone, like ice cube tray mould. I've got pumpkins. I saw this one in the shop. It was £2. On reflection, I should have bought more than one. And you could even work this in for Christmas or any other holiday like Easter or just anything really. So I have done a trial run, which is why there is some dry chocolate on here, because I needed to make sure I had some set to show you later. And also I wanted to make sure it worked. But I will show you how I do this. It is super, super simple. Okay, so first off, you're going to want to take your chocolate, just break it all up into little, snap it all, so that it's all in small pieces. Once you have got your chocolate all snapped inside, I only do it inside because then it limits the mess, you're going to need a microwavable bowl. You could melt the chocolate over a saucepan in a bowl, but I don't have time for that or the patience. So take all of your broken chocolate and dump it into a microwavable bowl or dish. How much chocolate you will need will depend on how many of these moulds you have. I only have one, so if you're making them for gifts or something, you may want to buy more than one mould. Otherwise, this is going to take you quite a long time. You're going to take your chocolate and you're going to pop it in the microwave. Do not look at this messy microwave. It also helps if it's turned on at the wall. So pop it in there. You're going to need to watch this. Keep stopping, taking it out, stirring it. When it gets warm, you will see that the chocolate will melt anyway on its own without being put back in. Keep an eye on it. You don't want it to burn. This has been in for 45 seconds. I've taken it out. It is starting to melt. I've given it a good stir. I'm going to put it back in, minus the spoon, because that's metal, for another 30. It wasn't even another 30. That was probably another 20 seconds. I've taken it out, given it a stir. There is still a little bit of a lump chocolate, but like I said, if you keep stirring it, which I'm going to need to do with 2 hands in a second because it's not going very well with just one, it will all melt and then we can move on to the next stage. Okay, so you've got your melted chocolate, like so. Yum, yum, yum. You take your mould. At this point, if you want to mix your milk and white chocolate, then you would just alternate whatever you put in the mould. Let me show you the mould. That's not going to help, is it? So, I've got a melted chocolate. I'm going to take a small spoonful and then just drip it into each mould. Now, because these are pumpkins, you want to make sure that you get the chocolate right in there into the stem. And I was worried when I did my trial ones that the stems would break off when I got them out of the mould. But they didn't. I was super impressed. I was a little bit worried about that, not going to lie. But as long as you get the spoon right in there, it doesn't matter if you make a mess on the top because we're going to sort that out with a knife afterwards. You just want to fill each pumpkin mould with delicious melted chocolate. And I used to do this with regular ice cube trays a long time ago. And I used to take them to people's houses if we went for dinner or something as like part of dessert. And there's something about chocolate that has been melted and reset. It just tastes so much nicer. It doesn't have to be expensive chocolate either. I always use the cheap stuff and it just tastes so good. And everyone's always impressed with how it turns out, or like how you've done them. So just make sure they're filled. So those are all going to be plain ones. What I am going to do is pause the video and show you in 1 second. I've got a few little mini pearls left here. You could do them with anything, any kind of chocolate strands, hundreds and thousands, Halloween-y type ones if you've got Halloween ones. I'm going to take a small handful, and in the moulds I haven't yet put chocolate in, I'm just going to sprinkle some of these because then the chocolate will hopefully set on them. We'll see if it works. And then you'll have a decorated pumpkin. But we will have to wait and see if this works or not. So we're doing half and half at the moment. And I've also just spilt a bunch on my countertop. So you can see what I mean. There are the chocolates that are filled, and those are the ones that we're going to fill with the chocolate on top of the little mini pearls. Okay, I've just moved you down a little bit so that you can see the mould better. So let's start with this one. Again, making sure we get the chocolate into the stem part of the pumpkin. I mean, you can maybe get skull ones. I'm sure you can get skull ones. You can probably get all sorts of ones. I just happened to see these in the supermarket, but if you did an Amazon search, I reckon you could find all manner of different patterns. There we are, go in the stem. Come on, we want as much chocolate as we can get in there. Don't want to be cheap with the chocolate. So when you have filled them up, you are going to take a clean knife and just scrape along any excess that comes off. What you do with the chocolate at this point is completely up to you. You can either lick it or discard it. So that's what that looks like now. As you can see, there's a few little gaps here. I've got some chocolate left over. I'm just going to fill those gaps in again and then scrape it over again to make sure they all get filled properly. And there you are. And I would say, obviously, it goes without saying, if you're going to lick a knife, do not lick the blade side. Whatever you do, don't lick the blade side. And then these are going to go in the fridge until they're set. I'd probably say about an hour, just to be on the safe side. Then you can pop them out onto a plate and see what you come out with. Okay, so those pumpkin treats, if they work, will probably be one of my proudest achievements as an adult, apart from having my kids. How crazy is that? I'm so pleased that the first trial batch worked, hoping these ones work. Because you could do a lot of different things with them if you got creative. So the next and last one I'm going to do are graveyard dirt pudding cups. Now these are probably the most, maybe not the most fiddly, because those broomsticks were a little bit fiddly. These are a little bit more fiddly, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Let's do it together. We'll learn together. For these graveyard dirt pudding cups, you are going to need some Angel Delight chocolate flavour or some sort of chocolate pudding mix. I have used Angel Delight. I've got 2 packets, which is 1 pint of milk and 2 packets of chocolate Angel Delight. Doesn't have to be branded, that's just the one that I came across. You will need some Oreos or cookies and cream dupes or other dark chocolate biscuit. You would not believe how many packets of biscuit. It's shameful to admit how many packets of biscuits I've eaten and had to replace in the time that I've been collecting the things for these videos. You will also need like a kind of tombstone shaped biscuit, like a Viennese biscuit. As long as it's this kind of shape, I think we will be okay. So, and you'll also need some pudding cups. I have just used chocolate mousse cups. My kids have been getting for a lot of chocolate mousses recently, and I've just been washing up the cups because I didn't want to order any from Amazon because I don't really have that much of a use for them. So I thought I would just repurpose something I already had to hand. So, and they're also the perfect size. So there we are, let's get cracking. What you're going to want to do is take your cookies and cream, separate them, scrape out the middle using a clean knife. You can do what you want with the middle. You can either throw them in the bin, give them to someone you love who's nearby and wants to eat them, or you can eat them yourself. I've had a couple of the middles, but oh god, I just couldn't eat this many. So I'm going to chuck them. So they come apart very easily. And you just toss all the cookies in the bowl and discard the middle. Oh, that one's all coming off on its own. But these Aldi dupes of Oreos are seriously good. Once you've got enough, I mean there's more to use here if we need to. You can always put them in a freezer bag and then smash them. I don't have a freezer bag or anything like that. So I'm just going to do it with a spoon and see if I can do you know what, this isn't going to be very effective, I don't think. Oh, I don't know. I'd recommend getting a freezer bag for these and doing it this way, but I have got another trick up my sleeve. Right, I'm going to pour all this out. Cover it all up. And then smash it with a hammer. Or more accurately, a rolling pin. God, that feels good. Right, let's see what we have. Oh, they're not quite small enough. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's done the trick. There you are. That will be your graveyard dirt. But I would recommend having a bag, actually. That was a lack of foresight on my part. Okay, so what you're going to want to do next is get your pots, get your crushed up cookies, and then sprinkle some dirt in the bottom of the pudding cups. I may well need to bash up some more cookies. And then you're going to make it kind of like a sweet sort of weird Halloween lasagna. And you're just going to layer all the ingredients. Definitely going to need more cookies. I am optimistic about how these are going to turn out. Right. And then you're going to take your little Angel Delight or your pudding. It has set nicely as well. I'm going to just stir mine just so it's not quite as solidified. It will reset. There we go. And then dump it on top. Plop, plop. In each of your pudding cups. Of course, make as many of these as you want. The more you make, the more ingredients you'll need, the more pudding cups you will need. So, put a little bit more in these two, and then jiggle them around just so they kind of settle down a bit. That one needs a little bit more, and so does that one. And then, tell you what, let's just fill these up to the top. So we need to put our toppings on. There we go. And then you're going to go in with your crushed cookies for your graveyard dirt. So again, just sprinkle it over. Actually, this was the perfect amount of cookies, actually, for the amount that I'm making anyhow. This is probably one of the most creative things I've ever done, because I am not creative in the kitchen. It's kind of beyond my skill set, I'm afraid. Okay, so there we go. That's that bit. When you're done, apart from the mess, you should have something that resembles this. You've got the graveyard dirt at the bottom and then at the top. And then we're going to move on to the slightly more tricky portion of this little treat. So next I have got these oval shaped rich tea biscuits, rich tea fingers. I picked them because they're kind of tombstone shaped. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just keep them whole and pop them in here about halfway. But first of all, we need to do some decorative writing on them. So I've got 5 pudding cups, so I will need 5 biscuits. 2 biscuits, then you're going to want to take some icing, writing icing. Black, red, green, any colour would be better than white, but white is all I have, white is all I could really find. So I'm going to hopefully carefully write RIP on each of these tombstones and then stick them in the pudding cups. Okay, I'm going to bring you around this side because I'm left-handed, and if I do this, all you'll be able to see is my arm. So, ooh. Oh, hang on, no, it's coming up better now. That's good. We might need to do some trial ones of these. That is going to be a trial one. Let's try and do this better with the next one. Here we go. Take the first pudding cup. You may want to, if you are obviously taking this to a party, don't do this too early on, because otherwise your biscuit will go soggy. So there's the one. I can hear it's raining outside. Just in time to go do the school run in half an hour. Sit buffet. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3. I'm actually, I mean, you know, they're not fantastic, but I'm pretty impressed with myself. This is one of the most creative things I've ever done, apart from growing a human. And then that wasn't really, you know, it's just a bodily function. This is me with my creative skills. Voila! Look at that. RIP to Claire's creative icing writing. But I don't think they're too bad, all things considered. Okie, now it's the moment of truth. These have set. They feel firm. How will they come out? Let's see. Please come out as well as the first lot did. Otherwise you'll make me look silly on YouTube. Ooh! This is why it's important to use silicone ones as well, because they will come out so much more easily than rigid ones. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I couldn't have even anticipated these coming out this good. If anybody I know is watching these, like in my personal life, you are all getting chocolate for Christmas. Oh my gosh. Ooh, this has worked so much better than I could have thought. Yay! Oh, brilliant. The kids are going to be so thrilled with these. It is tipping it down with rain at the moment, which is wonderful because the school run is soon. And then we have ballet, so we're all going to get soaked. Ta-da! Pumpkin chocolates. And as you can see, the sprinkles have worked amazingly. They'd look even better if it was like orange or something, but this opens up a whole world of possibility for what I can do for homemade Christmas presents. So there we go. And there you have it. Halloween treats for a Halloween party. If anybody invites me to a Halloween party, I'll be bringing something like this along. So there you have it. Those are my tricks for some easy Halloween treats. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I apologise about the lighting. It has gotten very dark and gloomy and autumny outside. It's raining. If you have enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Do go check out Claire's video on mum things because hers will be amazing, I'm sure. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing this. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.